Hi, everybody, and welcome back to EBNet Stream. Today's competitive business landscape makes attracting, engaging, and retaining top talent more important and more challenging than ever. Economic pressures are mounting and regulatory frameworks evolving to promote pay transparency, forcing companies to innovate their pay and benefit strategies to ensure equity, fairness, and financial security for their employees. I'm joined today by Lindiwe Sebesho, Managing Director of REM Channel, and Blessing Utete, Managing Executive at Old Mutual Corporate Consultants, to discuss this more. Welcome, Lindy and Blessing.
Thank you, Natalie.
Okay, so let's get into it. Lindiwe, what challenges are you seeing in the remuneration space right now?
Thanks again for this opportunity, Natalie. Yeah, right now, companies are really dealing with a lot of pressures in the pay and benefit space in particular. As you've said, economic pressures remain very high with slow growth, aging infrastructure issues, high competition for skills that we are seeing. All these things are impacting business confidence and investment in South Africa. This environment is tough for everyone. It's not just employers, but also employees. So companies are really rethinking costs and wanting to find ways to enhance their value proposition to their employees.
Blessing, can you introduce how Talent Vantage addresses these challenges?
Yeah, so it's a very interesting environment we're in at the moment. And really what we're seeing is that companies are really seeking to tackle these challenges around talent retention and then the employee value proposition in general, as Lindiwe has just mentioned. And really what we tried to do by putting together Talent Vantage is getting the real deep insights that REM Channel and Old Mutual Corporate Consultants have from a benefit expertise perspective to create packages that include pay, benefits, and incentives that can deal with attracting talent and rewarding employees and really getting them engaged in the organizational goals. So this really helps companies build a workplace where employees will actually feel very valued and motivated to stay.
It's an interesting concept. I was actually thinking on the back of REM Channel's study that was published yesterday, or research that was published yesterday, around the more complex environment that people work in and look for around the benefits in the places that they work and the work that they do. And so that leads me to my next question, Blessing. What motivates talent today, and how does Talent Vantage support this?
I think the significant thing that we have to acknowledge right up front is that we're dealing with a very, very diverse workforce at the that we have in the environment. I mean, the generations are different. We've got the boomers, the Gen Zs, the millennials, and all of them at different stages in life require different things. But one of the top things is really around flexibility. Your packages in terms of incentives and benefits just can't be a one size fits all. And what we're finding is that really what's motivating talent is the ability to be flexible on these various elements. So Talent Vantage really gives a platform to give flexible benefits, flexible REM structures, and really making sure that in the short term, they're able to meet their expenses, but they're also able to make sure that they're looking after their long-term goals. So this adaptability that helps employees feel secure and supported ultimately boosts their engagement in the employment realm.
So it's all around flexibility and kind of allowing people, I suppose, or giving them the responsibility to look after their own financial well-being and reality. It's an interesting one. And Lindiwe, how does Talent Vantage help companies achieve fair and equitable pay, which is quite a hot button in the industry right now?
Absolutely, Natalie. And on that point of flexibility, it's actually interesting that flexibility has gone beyond just pay and benefits. But on the question of fair and equitable pay, yes, you are right. It's quite a hot topic at the moment. So what Talent Vantage helps companies do is make sure that they can first and foremost understand what their current pay gaps are. So we help them by doing fair pay analysis across roles and also levels, what we call horizontal pay gap analysis, as well as vertical pay gap analysis. We help them obviously look at the outcomes of that and say, what is it that they need to do to address those gaps? Because, I mean, as we know in South Africa, our context is such that we've got a history which would have informed most companies having some sort of gap. So we help them define clear, fair, and equitable pay policies that they can use to address those gaps, not obviously in the short term, but over time. We help them also with meeting reporting standards. As you would know, Natalie, there's quite a lot of legislation in South Africa, but sometimes not only the enforcement, but the implementation of those regulations is lacking. So what we help organizations do is have the right reporting standards and also tell stories of how they are addressing the gaps through their fair pay policies. And as you would know, recently there has been an amendment to the Companies Act. It is going to drive a lot more pay transparency, particularly on vertical pay gaps, meaning the gaps between the highest paid and the lowest paid employees. So Talent Vantage is also helping organizations prepare for that transparency in terms of being proactive. The implementation date for the Companies Act is still not announced, but we are helping companies be proactive around that. And what we're hoping is for companies to embrace this, not just as a compliance issue, but also as something that really will help grow South Africa and make sure that the value that organizations create and employees contribute to is sustainable. So for building, from our side, building fair pay practices into the system of benefits and pay is really an important thing that fosters a culture of trust and fairness and makes sure that all stakeholders are taken into consideration when value is created.
Thank you. I think fairness is a big issue, and it plays on a lot of people's minds. And coming to the responsibility around, the flexibility of my benefits, I think Two-Pot this year showed us that that people are struggling or battling to deal with their financial realities, or battling almost to plan for their financial realities, or to take on this responsibility of financial wellness. Blessing, perhaps can you expand on Talent Vantage's financial wellness programs?
Yeah, I think you started off on your earlier part of the comment there around Two-Pot is just a big realization for all of us. And I think it talks to what Lindiwe has just said around that, as we're getting legislation talking about fair pay, it's really just not about compliance. And so when we consult, we've really applied our minds as to what are the complementary solutions that we need to bring to clients that will support the changes that are going to be coming through in the benefits and the REM space. So when we talk about what's happened in Two-Pot, it really boils down to financial wellness. So a lot of employers are really saying, how do we do this better? How do we make sure that we empower our employees to make the right financial choices when they need to do that? And so part of Talent Vantage is really looking at offering educational resources and practical options that will help employees feel more confident and secure in the choices that they make. And I think we all know that when you give more choices, you're giving more responsibility. And with that responsibility, you want to empower people to make the right choices. So part of Talent Vantage is really packaging with it solutions that can help employees navigate those choices, right from budgeting, from saving, from long-term financial planning. And so we've introduced, our Right Track program, which really supports financial stability. And we know part of the Two-Pot issue was around solving for debt. Right Track is one of those things that stops people from then carrying on that same pattern. We've got Pay Curve that helps people budget and manage their finances a lot better. So there's quite a lot that comes in with the Talent Vantage sort of financial well-being program that supports employers to execute on their strategies.
Right Track, in fact, was one of our Evolutionary Award entries, and I really enjoyed reading up about it. Lindiwe, how can companies access Talent Vantage? So it's very exciting, and certainly something that I can see, introduces an independent lens on a company's benefits and pay structures. Do they need to be existing clients of Old Mutual?
Not at all, Natalie. We are really excited about this proposition. We are already working with some of our current clients, and we are looking at also working with new companies that want to work with us and partner on this amazing journey. So no, companies don't need to be Old Mutual clients, nor do they need to be current REM Channel clients. But as I said, we are already working with some companies that are forward thinking and have already embraced this proposition. So it is available as a standalone solution to both current and new clients. So any organization can really work with us. And we are so ready to embrace and partner with organizations on this journey. This means that we can help anybody improve their value proposition, not only for today, but also for the future. So please do contact either myself or Blessing or any of our great REM and benefits consultants in REM Channel and OMCC to assist. We're looking forward to having a chat.
Lindiwe, after contact, would your team access pay and benefits and make tailored recommendations for your clients?
Yes, exactly, Natalie. So what we do is we actually listen to what the client's challenges are. So whilst we have data and we've got so much trends and we can see and general views, as Blessing had said, as to what are some of the drivers of this need for flexibility, but we do take time to listen to what a client's needs are. So we also look at their current pay and benefit strategies, their current practices, look at their programs and see where the potential gaps are that Talent Vantage can come and add value in. So we'll sit down with each client to understand, as I've just said, their specific needs, create a custom plan to strengthen their total reward offering so that it is attractive and competitive. But also, as we said earlier, it is compliant, but also driving the right fair and equitable pay practices. We then provide recommendations, we tailor the solutions, we help clients implement the solutions, and we make sure that we've got the right metrics to actually measure the value so that both us and the client can actually see the benefit of what Talent Vantage can have on their ability to attract, engage, and retain top talent.
And I think my final question is really around, while we offer flexibility to individuals, obviously every sector is different. And so Blessing, we'll give you the final word with the question, your recommendations, are these adapted to specific industry needs?
Yeah, Natalie, I mean, we've said it, I think earlier on in the conversation. I think, when we talk about flexibility at an individual level, the same applies to companies and organizations. Everyone is different. No one solution fits every organization. So, the benefit of Talent Vantage is the fact that we've got a wealth as Old Mutual of research around industries and diverse analysis of industries and their requirements. REM Channel, significant player in their market too. They've got deep insights across the market and across sectors. So we never would have one size fitting all. We really apply our minds to make sure that is the solution fit for purpose? Is it going to work for your particular industry? And is it going to drive, at the end of the day, your strategic goals? So by understanding the market talent and the industry insights, we're really able to co-create with our clients the best solutions that can really drive the outcomes that they want for their employees in that regard. So really excited about the solution and really looking forward to hearing from clients and organizations that want to explore this Talent Vantage consulting proposition with us.
There's no doubt that the future of work needs a forward-thinking approach to pay and benefits. Two-Part has shown us that employees have both short-term financial needs while still seeking long-term security. Companies can leverage Talent Vantage to balance these and create a thriving and motivated workforce. Thank you, Lindiwe, and thank you, Blessing, for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.